Hello my friends, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to talk about the Huawei P30 Pro, and these are my first impressions after using this device for 10 days. So this is the latest flagship from Huawei, the latest flagship from the P series, because last year we got the P20 Pro, which was an amazing smartphone, especially in terms of camera. And this year Huawei is continuing the P20 Pro legacy by bringing us some very massive improvements in terms of course, camera. But not only. In terms of design, I really like how it feels in the hand and how well designed and built this smartphone is. And I actually consider that Huawei, with every generation of devices that they bring to the market, are refining their build quality. Because in prior models you could have seen here and there some small problems in terms of build quality, but now with the P30 Pro everything seems to be great. So I like the design of the device. It's a bit squarish, to use this term, compared to the more rounder, if you want, P20 Pro and Mate 20 Pro. And this feeling is very nice. It sits well in the hand, it's very well built out of glass and metal, and I simply like it. After 10 days of usage, I do like how it feels in the hand. And of course, one major feature of this device is this beautiful display that is made by Samsung, because they returned to Samsung for the P30 Pro after the problems they had with the LG screens made for the Mate 20 Pro. A beautiful 1080p display with beautiful colors, with beautiful contrast, very bright in direct sunlight, so you have no issues when using this device outdoors. We also have a smaller notch this time around because it sports a 2D Face ID system, not the same as the Mate 20 Pro, which uses a 3D Face ID system just like iPhones. Very nice, very big, 6.47 inches in diagonal. It's simply amazing for media consumption, especially due to this very small notch on top of the display. What else we have? We have nothing on the left side. On the bottom we have the SIM tray, the USB Type-C port, and the only loudspeaker of this device. On the right side we have the power on button with this red accent, and also the volume buttons. And on top we have, for the first time in the P series, an IR blaster and also another microphone. Nothing else, and as you already know probably, there is no secondary earpiece or loudspeaker on this device, but more on that later. On the back, of course, we have the all-new, almighty, basically the most powerful and most advanced camera system to this day on the market on a smartphone. We have a, well, they advertise it as being a Leica quad camera or quad lens system, but in reality is a triple lens camera with the TOF, time of flight sensor, right here underneath the flash module. So we have an ultra wide angle lens, 20 megapixels in size. We have the main and new main sensor, which sports a 40 megapixel resolution, and also we have the new periscope camera. About this new sensor made by Sony this time around in partnership with Huawei, this is a sensor developed mainly for this device, and it sports some new enhancements in terms of how well it behaves in real life. So we have a brighter aperture, f1.6, compared to the f1.8 on the Mate 20 Pro. And also this time around they removed the green filter from the sensor, and they introduced a yellow filter. So this allows 40% more light to drop on the sensor, especially at nighttime or in low light, making the pictures to look a lot better, a lot brighter, and the results taken by this camera, I have to say, they are absolutely amazing. And of course, another novelty is the periscope camera, which sports 5 times optical zoom, 10 times hybrid zoom, and 50 times digital zoom. Impressive results, to say the least. It's mind-blowing what you can do with this periscope camera on the Huawei P30 Pro. I'm gonna show you some pictures later in this video. Trust me, everything that you saw in the presentation when they announced the phone in Paris is actually real. It actually translates into real life usage. Those shots with the moon, if you remember, well, yesterday evening I was taking shots to the moon, and I'm going to show you the results right now. Let's go ahead. And these are some shots that I've taken with the moon yesterday. This is at 5 times optical zoom. This one is at 10 times hybrid zoom. This one is at 20 times zoom, 30 times, 40 times, and of course 50 times zoom, digital zoom. And the results are simply amazing, considering that this is a smartphone. This is not a DSLR, this is a smartphone. And yet images are still usable even when using 50 times digital zoom. And another feature is the fact that this new telephoto camera now has OIS, just like the main sensor. I would have liked them to introduce OIS on the wide-angle lens also, but still they work absolutely amazing. A lot of improvements in terms of video quality also, a lot better at taking videos compared to the Mate 20 Pro. Amazing image stabilization thanks to the OIS and also the EIS, the electronic image stabilization. Basically, just like others said on this platform, this has to be probably the best image stabilization system on a device of this type currently available on the market. So impressive results. Also, another thing that I've noticed is the fact that they improved the audio quality when taking videos. The sound is a lot better. It's not the best out there, but still it's a lot better when comparing it to the Mate 20 Pro. What else do you have? Well, you have a finger sensor embedded on the screen. It's an optical fingerprint sensor, just like on the Mate 20 Pro, but it works a lot faster, a lot better. And from my testing, it actually works better than the ultrasonic fingerprint reader on the Samsung Galaxy S10 lineup. And that's a strange thing for me. And for the sound, in terms of voice calls and whatnot, this time around they are using a different technology. That's why I said that we don't have an earpiece or a loudspeaker up here. You now get sound from the screen. It actually uses an electromagnetic actuator that vibrates the screen, and that vibration then is transformed into sound. Very good sound quality when taking calls or placing calls. I had no issues so far, and I actually like how this technology works. The only loudspeaker right here on the bottom actually works really great, and the sound quality coming out of this single loudspeaker is actually better than the stereo setup on the Mate 20 Pro. I've made a lot of tests on the channel. You can see the videos there, although they are made in Romanian, but you get the point. Very, very good. It's not the best out there. It doesn't compare to any Samsung device or to the iPhone XS Max, but still great sound, great audio quality, and compared to the Mate 20 Pro, it's well balanced and it's a lot powerful in terms of value, thus making overall the multimedia experience to be a lot better than it was on the Mate 20 Pro, and that's a big point for me. Underneath we have a 4200 mAh battery that charges from 0 to 100 in 60 minutes or from 0 to 70% in 30 minutes. Super fast charging made possible with the included charger in the box. That's a 40-watt charger. You also get wireless charging at 15 watts and of course reverse wireless charging, so you can do party tricks. That's a feature that I don't really use, so I'm not very interested in that. Battery life has been amazing for me with the P30 Pro. For me, up until the P30 Pro, the best smartphone in terms of battery life was the Huawei Mate 20 standard, the normal version. The P30 Pro is now the best smartphone that I ever used in terms of battery life, and I've obtained some impressive results considering my style of usage, considering all the things that I do on a daily basis on my device. I actually got with the P30 Pro 13 hours and a half of screen on time and about 22 hours of overall usage. So this translates in a 2-day battery life for this impressive smartphone. I've seen a lot of people saying that, yeah, it's normal, you have a full HD display. Come on, every single Samsung device comes out of the box with the screen set to full HD also. And I never achieved those times with Samsung devices. Hell, I never achieved this type of times with the Mate 20 Pro that has the same battery inside, the same technologies, and I usually got with the Mate 20 Pro roughly up to 4 hours less screen on time with the same usage compared to the P30 Pro. So what they did, how well they optimized the software with the hardware on the P30 Pro is simply amazing, and the battery life inside this smartphone is just great. Let me go to the gallery and show you some screenshots that I've taken when testing the battery on this device. And up until now, in 10 days of usage, I actually charged the device roughly 4 times, completely charged it. So look at this. Basically, the device was shutting down because it reached 2%, and this was my screen on time. 13 hours and 19 minutes. And these were the apps that I used during that day. Simply amazing. You also get IP68, so you have dust and water resistance, which is a great thing to have. You can actually have this phone underwater taking pictures and videos because you have a built-in underwater mode in the camera settings. So you can use the hardware buttons to take pictures and videos. And that's a great thing because I usually do this type of stuff in the summer when I go to the pool and whatnot. So it's very convenient. Great signal reception, no connectivity issues, and I wasn't expecting actually to have any. It simply works amazing in terms of connectivity, no issues with Wi-Fi. We have Bluetooth 5.0, which is a great thing, dual GPS, NFC, and everything else that you need in terms of connectivity. It works amazing, very good signal reception. I had no issue so far during these 10 days of usage of the Huawei P30 Pro. So very, very nice. Great battery life, great display, great build quality. The fingerprint sensor works really, really great, and also Face ID works really, really fast. So no issues here. We also get a new variant in terms of user interface. It's called EMUI 9.1, and actually compared to the 9.0 that you can see on the Mate 20 Pro, this one feels a lot better, a lot faster, it's snappier, and I'm actually starting to like it. And trust me, I actually hate EMUI in general, because I consider it to be a blatant copycat of iOS, and that's something that I don't really like and appreciate. But EMUI 9.1 actually runs really great. It's very smooth, it's full of features, so I'm not that bothered this time around. You also get Dolby Atmos inside for a rich and beautiful audio experience, and it also supports all the Bluetooth hi-fi codecs in terms of audio consuming when using Bluetooth headphones, because basically I made my transition to Bluetooth headphones a couple of years ago, and thus I don't really need to have the 3.5mm headphone jack present anymore on my devices. So far, as a first impressions conclusion, if you want, I have to say that I'm honestly impressed with what Huawei made with the P30 Pro. I consider this phone to be excellent in every term, and the camera is simply mind-blowing. The pictures that you can take with this camera during nighttime without using night mode are simply out of this world. Also, the zoom capabilities are amazing. At first, when they introduced the smartphone, I considered that there is a lot of marketing gimmicks involved and whatnot. But now, after using the device for 10 days, I'm honestly impressed, and I can honestly tell you that everything they presented is actually real and truthful to the real life experience of a regular consumer. So these are my first impressions. I give an A+ to the P30 Pro after 10 days. I also got 2 or 3 software updates after unboxing it. So they improved the camera experience, they improved the fingerprint reader, and they eliminated a lot of bugs present in the first version that it came in the box. So overall, very good experience, actually very, very excellent experience. And I'm going to continue using this device for another month, and afterwards I'm going to give you my full review. But so far everything seems to be simply great. In terms of price, I paid for mine about 800 euros. This year is the 6 GB of RAM variant with 128 GB of RAM. So 800 euros for this version, because I don't consider that having 8 GB of RAM it's helping me in any way, because I don't play games on my devices. And the price for me is the right price, considering that it brings so much to the table. And I'm actually very eager to see what the Mate 30 Pro in November will bring to the market. I'm very curious. As always, my friends, thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one. Until then, as always, be safe, be good.